Hello everybody, my name is Xuchen Yang. I'm a product manager at SeaChat AI. Today we're going to go into some advanced tutorial of using Custom GPT Tools to perform some complex queries using SeaChat. So last time in my simple tutorial, I have shown you the Custom GPT Tools over here. And then we are able to get some very simple get a dog picture or get a fox picture by calling this API. Right, dog API over here, random dogs image, and then random fox image over here, right? So in this session, I'm gonna move into the more advanced ones of getting the weather, right? So I got a free open media weather API over here. It's kind of complicated because you have to assemble all kinds of different parameters, right? But let's give it a try. So first, let's go to the documentation, and then let's see how to assemble this weather API. So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to create a new Custom GPT tool, right? So if I go back over here, you see I can add up to 5 Custom GPT tools over here, and then enable this. I will say get weather API, right? So this is essentially a get request. And then we're going to get an endpoint URL, and then we're going to assemble all of those parameters, right? So how this one works is this, right? So we have from this API page, eventually we're going to assemble a final URL, something like somewhere in this place, right? So let's see. Module update URL over here. Oh, okay. We actually got it over here, right? So this is the URL over here, right? So what we're gonna do is this, right? So I have the endpoint URL, which is all the way to up here, right? Forecast, right? So I'm gonna change this, right? And then we're gonna say this is a get weather forecast, get weather API, right? So the description is that get weather forecast of a specific location, right? So that's one. And then you say, okay, from here, I have a fixed latitude and a longitude, and then the time zone is not set up, right? Since I'm based in Seattle, so I'm gonna choose the America, Los Angeles time zone, and we're gonna do the forecast of 7 days. And then we're going to do the temperature 2M. Oh, I don't really know what the temperature 2M means. And then we're going to say the prescription probability and whether it's going to rain or not. Since this is done in November, and in November, I guess Seattle doesn't really snow that much. So let me ask Gemini first. What is I got curious about this temperature 2M, right? So what is 2M in temperature 2M over here? Oh, okay, got it. Yeah. So 2M actually means 2 meters, right? So the temperature measured at a height of 2 meters above the surface. Okay, that's clear enough, right? So after we have all of this, and then we're gonna assemble. I'm gonna reload the chart, and this is actually the from this location, right? From this location's weather report over here. And then that's the entire API URL, right? So if I copy paste this and then I go back over here, we already have the endpoint, right? So I already have this endpoint, and then we're gonna assemble the rest of this, right? Latitude, longitude, and hourly, etc. So we're gonna walk backwards over here, right? From here we got 2 pieces. One is fixed value parameter, and then the other one is dynamic variable parameter extracted by the LLM, right? So the fixed value parameters are something like the predefined ones, right? So for instance, we have something called a time zone, right? So I already know that I want the time zone specifically to Los Angeles. So we're gonna say, okay, I have the query here, and my key here is called a time zone, and then I have this fixed as value. It's called America, Los Angeles. That's one. Okay, I'm gonna add another one, which is this fixed parameter, right? So we got an hourly. I got a query over here. Yes, query is on the URL parameter string, and a key here is hourly, right? So we're gonna have an hourly report of the temperature at 2 meters above the surface, and then I want the precipitation probability and whether it's going to rain or not. So those are the two fixed value parameters pre-filled by the user. And finally, this is a more kind of a challenging case. We're going to assemble the latitude, and the longitude, right? So this is actually the dynamic variable parameters here determined by the LLM. So we again have this query piece, and then we got the string here, and the first one is latitude, right? So I'm going to save the latitude, and the default value is just a 52, right? So and then we're going to say this is required, right? Because the API requires this. So the description here is a little bit tricky because no one is going to enter the latitude and longitude into a chat window, right? So what we're going to say is this. I'm going to say I would say location of the weather. I would say latitude of the location, right? And then I'm going to say convert location to latitude, right? So that's one. And then the next part is longitude, right? So I got a query over here, and I got a string over here. The key is longitude, and then it's 13.41. We don't want it to go out of the earth. So I'm gonna copy exactly the same thing, and then for descriptions, I'm gonna repeat this. This is gonna be the longitude of the location, convert the location to longitude over here. And then this is required, right? So now we have assembled this API, and I'm gonna SeaChat already has this done, right? Assembled, and I'm gonna run the test, right? So this looks a little bit weird to me, but we'll see what happens, right? So I'm gonna submit, and this one says okay, invalid time zone. So right, America, Los Angeles. This feels weird, right? So let's see. So originally I used this, right? So I would just say, okay, let me ask Gemini. So what does this stand for? In ASCII format. Kind of computer science term. Oh, okay, the slash character. Okay, all right. So let's go back here, and then I'll just replace America with Los Angeles. I have this URL assembled, and then we're gonna test this again. Oh, okay, great. Yeah, so I have this, and then I return a 200, and that's probably exactly the same kind of response drawn over here, right? So now I'm gonna save this and go back. We'll say, okay, this API actually has the weather API, right? So I'm gonna go back to my dog and fox pictures, and then say, I would say, okay, what's the weather of Seattle, right? Today, right? So send a message over here, and then let's say oh, okay, oh, that's kind of cool. It's November the 13th, so presumably the temperature, okay, it's still like in Celsius, right? Not in Fahrenheit. 8 to 11 degrees throughout the day. This is a high probability of rain, especially in the early morning and the late evenings, and with the expected rainfall of this, right? Actually, it's kind of raining outside, right? So that's yeah, that's cool, right? So and then let's ask, what's the weather of Seattle? What's the weather of Chicago, right? Chicago today. Oh, Chicago is a little bit a wider range since that's not by the ocean, right? So significant chance of rain, especially in the afternoon and evening, right? So since we remember we cached this API result, I can ask more questions, right? So I would say, is it going to rain? Rain today in Seattle and Chicago, right? So let's see whether API, whether ChatGPT actually caches the result, right? So it is actually expected to rain today in both Seattle and Chicago, right? So okay, let's just say double check, right? So I would do Seattle weather today, and oh, okay, actually it is raining, right? 95% of a chance of raining, and then if I do Chicago weather, and I get 69% of a raining chance, and then by 9 p.m. it's 97%, right? So that's actually pretty good. If you look at Fahrenheit over here, so currently is 11 degrees Celsius today, right? So this looks pretty, I don't know, maybe pretty accurate. So we'll see, right? So one trick thing that we did was that converting the longitude and attitude from Seattle to Chicago. I'm sorry, from Chicago. I'm sorry, let me put it this way again. From the location to Chicago, right? So what we're gonna do is, let's say, I'll just enable I'll just enable this, right? I'll enable debug over here, and then we're gonna ask. Let's do this new chat. What's this weather of Chicago today, right? We're gonna observe the API outputs through the debug mode, right? So this is actually my response from SeaChat, right? From 5 to 12 degrees over here. Let's see the API call. The API call here is that the latitude of 41 degrees and longitude is minus 87 degrees, right? So we don't really know, and let's just give it a try, right? So I'll go to Google Maps, and I'm gonna assemble this two locations. Let's make this one bigger for you, and let's see whether this is really Chicago, right? So Google Maps prompts me with this, and oh, where is this? Oh, it is in Chicago, right? So SeaChat actually finds out at the very heart of Chicago, right? The longitude and the latitude and longitude of Chicago, and then automatically replace this, right? This is all due to this description, right? This instruction over here, right? So I said convert the location to latitude, and this is the location or latitude, right? And convert the location to longitude, and then we get out of this, right? So great, this actually works, and this has been the full tutorial of using the advanced mode of a Custom GPT tool, where you can assemble a complex query over here, and then get some weather information by using SeaChat. Well, thank you very much for watching, and then I'll stay tuned and see you in the next tutorial. Thank you.